We'll call the City Council regular meeting to order for Monday, April 1st, 2024. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Hoyt.
Here.
Councilmember Lean.
Here.
Councilmember Porter. Here. Councilmember Wilson.
Here. All right. Any changes to the agenda? Nick? Leah?
I will be abstaining from 7.11 on the consent agenda, Mayor.
Okay. Steve?
None.
Lynn? Anyone else? Any changes? All right. Seeing no changes to the agenda, we look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Motion to approve.
Motion by Steve.
Second.
Second by Katie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. We'll move on to item 5.1, which is our swearing in of police officers and sergeant promotion. Chief?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, thank you for allowing us a little bit of time this evening to swear in 3 of our new officers and our newest sergeant. Officer Max Thurl began his employment with the City of Farmington in May of 2023. He's a graduate of Alexandria Technical College's law enforcement program, and he's a lifelong Farmington resident. After he takes his oath of office this evening, his father Mike will be pinning on his badge. Officer Dalton Vickery began his employment with our city in September of 2023. He's a graduate of Rasmussen University and an honorably discharged 6-year veteran of the Army National Guard. After he takes his oath this evening, his fiancée Kirsten will be pinning on his badge. And Officer August Kiewicz began his employment with the city also in September of 2023. He's a graduate of MSU Mankato, and he grew up in the Farmington area as well. After he takes the oath, his father Paul will be pinning on his badge. To say I'm excited to have these 3 young men joining our team would be an understatement. Individually and collectively, they've brought some much needed energy and enthusiasm to the department, and it's been a pleasure to have them around. They've all have very bright futures, and I look forward to seeing them develop to their full potential. Officers Max Thurl, Dalton Vickery, and August Kiewicz, please step forward to take your oaths of office.
I, Dalton Vickery, do solemnly swear
That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America
and the state of Minnesota
and the state of Minnesota
against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
That I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without mental reservation or purpose of evasion.
without mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
And that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties as police officer upon which I am about to enter.
the duties as police officer upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Gentlemen, if you could hang tight there, and your folks with your badges would maybe step forward here and pin your badges on. Again, August's dad Paul, and Max's dad Mike, and Dalton's fiance Kirsten will be pinning their badges on for them. All right, congratulations. All right, you guys want to step over here just in case any of our council members have any pointed questions for you? I will turn it over to them.
Questions, comments?
I don't know if I'm at a point. I'm glad you guys started the mustache competition early. Off to a great start. But welcome. It's always exciting. I love it.
Katie?
Name, rank, and social security number? I mean, I assume you already have all of that. No, thank you guys so much. I mean, gosh, what a time, what an honorable time to have a badge pinned on you. We're super proud to have you with Farmington. Now these new faces traveling around as I wave, you can wave back to me. I'm that weird lady that waves at everybody. And I'm used to people waving back. And I told Cassie, I said, I don't recognize these faces and I don't like it. So I'm glad we're doing the pinning so I recognize these faces. Welcome to Farmington.
Steve?
To August, Max, and Dalton, you know, if you haven't found this out already, you've got a extremely supportive council of our first responders, our police department, the men and women who wear the badge, and the whole community. I mean, this is a very strong support the blue, back the blue community. So, you know, I feel honored that you've chosen us to do your service in. You can tell by all the men and women in the back there that they couldn't be happier that you've joined us. I do want to say to you, Max, because I have known you through coaching you, that couldn't be prouder that you're with us. Mike and Pam, fine job with your son, and wish all of you a great tour of duty with the city of Farmington. So thank you and welcome.
Somebody told these guys they were going to have to make a speech, and I don't know who that was. It wasn't me. If you'd like to say some words, you're certainly welcome to. No obligation. Attaboy.
All right.
Taking initiative already, I love
Oh,
it.
yeah. This is happening. No,
He talks a lot, so fasten your seatbelt.
we're going to be here a while.
We're used to that.
Yeah?
She was talking about Steve, not me.
Yeah.
Gotcha, okay. No, I just real quick wanted to say I just appreciate this opportunity. You know, like Steve said, I've lived here my whole life and just know everyone in the community, or hopefully everyone soon. And I just really appreciate the opportunity to do this, and hopefully to continue throughout my career.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
He speaks for all three of us. I'll take you two off the hook. You can go ahead and have a seat. Our next oath of office involves a promotion. Andrew Van Dorn began his employment here with Farmington in November of 2006. In the ensuing 17-plus years, all he's done is excel at everything he's taken on. He served in many roles in that time. He's been a use of force instructor, a firearms instructor, field training officer, a school resource officer, a member of our crime scene team. He's been a union steward. His most challenging assignment, he's been a member of South Metro SWAT. In his time with South Metro SWAT, he's really blossomed into a leader. He has advanced through the ranks of the team from team member to assistant team leader to team leader and now to assistant commander. In addition to his leadership role on the team, he's taken on a leadership role with the state level SWAT association as well. All of these assignments have well prepared him for a formal leadership role within our organization. I'm pleased to introduce Sergeant Andrew Van Dorn. After he renews his oath of office, his wife Deidre will pin on his new badge. Sergeant Van Dorn, step forward to take your oath of office.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, state your name, do solemnly swear
I, Andrew Van Dorn, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America
and the state of Minnesota
and the state of Minnesota
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties as police sergeant upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties as police sergeant upon which I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Those other three guys are new guys. I let them off the hook. I'm not letting him off the hook. He's going to have to say a few words.
Thank you. I wanted to use this opportunity to thank my family. If you don't have close family members in law enforcement, it's maybe hard to appreciate how much this job affects the family unit. Whether it's the stress that we bring home after a long day or a long week, dealing with danger or people's anger or people's grief, which is by far the hardest to deal with. The stressors of working shift work and working overnights and working holidays and working every other weekend. SWAT call-outs that make you miss trick-or-treating with your kids when they're 4 and 6 year old. That stuff directly affects them, and it's a sacrifice that they didn't quite sign up for the way that we signed up for it. And so I just wanted to make sure to thank my wife, Deidre, and our girls, Jillian and Josie, for their support and for allowing me to pursue a career that I'm so passionate about. And so thank you. The other thing that I wanted to say is just how proud I am to have worked for Farmington PD for the last 17 years. I've got to work with some great men and women. Afforded a lot of opportunities to do a lot of cool stuff. The chief rattled off a couple of the cool things I've been able to do. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that it is not lost on me, the sacrifice and the investment that has been made by the city of Farmington and my agency and the leaders and my mentors, my partners, my friends, the investment that's been made into my development. And I'm really grateful for that. And finally, I'm excited about my opportunity in my new role as sergeant to hopefully be an influence on these young officers so that they are able to experience as fulfilling of a career as my mentors have allowed me to. And so, thank you.
Anything for Sergeant Van Dorn?
Well, I'll add in because I've had an opportunity over the last year through a couple community events and some things that have happened to get to know our newer officers a little bit more than what typically happens in the process. And obviously this was scheduled for a little ways before tonight, but you know we're doing it at a time that's just. It is different here. And that's something that we don't take lightly. That is a commitment that we as a council have made to our community and its residents and its business owners that there's a lot of bad stuff that goes on in this world. Stuff's not going to happen here. We're going to make sure that we fund and allocate resources and do all of the things for our first responders so that you can just do your job, right? Like, our job is to get out of your way, give you the resources, make sure that you do all the trainings, gain your experience, learn from your peers, have tenure. Our job's to get out of the way. So we know what we're supposed to do. And we look forward to your long and distinguished careers, eventually sergeant pinnings and all the things, right? We appreciate of all the opportunities that y'all have had to choose Farmington, that you continue to choose Farmington, and we'll do everything that we can to continue to support you. We can't thank you in any other way than to do that. So thank you.
Can I just quickly,
Absolutely.
I'm going to quickly speak to the families here because I think it is pertinent and so important to thank all of you, as Van Dorn said. My husband's not a police officer, but he is in the military and he is an armed security guard that works rotating 12s, and we have 5 children. I get it. I get how hard it is. My brother-in-law's an Eagan police officer, also on SWAT. He was on that call. You might have been as well. These things are so hard on these officers and their family members and communities, and you guys sitting here to support them and to show up every single day is so important. Every single day. So just make sure that you're taking those phone calls, you're saying the I love yous, because we really appreciate you guys. And wave at your council member in the minivan. Make sure you do that, because it makes my day, because I really appreciate all of you guys very, very much. So we do, but I'll speak for myself and my family. So thank you.
Go enjoy your cake.
I was just gonna say, if you give me 1 second here to clear the gallery,
Yeah.
we can all leave unless anybody wants to stay and listen to the, do we have a road presentation?
We have 9 road projects next year. That's a big deal. Thank you.
Yes.
All of it.
All of it.
All right, there was one taker that wants to stay.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
That was my first minivan wave. Yes.
I don't wave back. I just kind of stand there confused with
You
you.
know you're on camera.
It's fine.
Okay.
I cross the red tape every time. So
Okay.
that's how you'll know me.
Do you want to do noises?
For all those people watching. But
You want to do noises, right? Maybe that's what's
All right, our next item is citizen comments. If there's anyone in attendance wishing to speak, nope. Seeing none, we'll move on to our consent agenda. Look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I will make a motion to approve.
Motion by Steve,
second.
second by Nick. All in favor, say aye.
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 Councilmember Porter, are you
so
abstaining?
sorry, I am abstaining.
That's okay. Can we redo the vote?
Actually, I'm going to re-amend my motion. Was that 7.11, Katie?
It is 7.11.
Okay, I am going to make a motion to approve items 7.1 through 7.10, 7.10 on the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Nick. All in favor, say aye.
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 I will make a motion to approve 7.11 on the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Steve, second by Nick. All in favor, say aye.
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 Abstain.
And Katie is abstaining. All right. Thank you, Steve.
You are welcome.
Next item is our new business, 12.1, plans and specs, and authorize advertisement for bids for the 2024 street improvement project. John.
Excuse me, I need to log in again because it's been too long, so.
No worries.
Okay, this is an update and a requested action for the 2024 street improvement project. The project location is on 6th Street from Ash Street to about 200 feet south of Walnut, on Maple Street from 4th to 6th, and then there's a short segment east of Maple Street, or east of 6th Street on Maple. The area in question, north is to the right in this aerial photo. The clear vision is the project area. You can see that we are on the east side and north side of Farmington Elementary School. And we go all the way down to Ash Street. There's one bit of work in Ash Street. We're connecting to a storm sewer in Ash Street, so we'll have a temporary traffic control for that. But the remaining work is on the residential roadways. So where we've been so far, back in 2023, we did the citywide PCI rating and presented those results. This project was identified for 2024. We approved a PSA for 30% design and had a couple of open houses here at City Hall. And then we approved a PSA for final design and bidding. I wanted to note that we will get agreements for construction surveying and materials testing. Those will be presented at a future city council meeting. So the project scope is 6th Street and Maple, but I wanted to note that we are changing the width of 6th Street. From 220th or Ash Street to Maple, it's going from 44 to 38. From Maple to Locust, there was a section that was 36 feet. We're moving that to 38 feet, so we have a consistent width through the corridor. And then Locust to the north, it was 44. We're also going to 38 feet there. We did look at any modifications we could make to Maple Street, but after discussing that with the elementary school and looking at the traffic movement out there, we're not recommending any changes to the width of Maple Street. All dimensions shown here are from face of curb to face of curb. So we're replacing, from a sidewalk standpoint, Maple Street near 4th, there's a public sidewalk that'll be replaced. On 6th Street, there's walk on the west side from Ash to Maple, on the east side from Maple to Locust, and on both sides north of there. So we'll be replacing that sidewalk to our minimum city sidewalk width. After reviewing various reference documents, we recommended no new public sidewalk proposed because we already have connectivity amongst the sidewalks from one end of the project to the other. And of course, at any pedestrian curb ramp locations, they'll be replaced with ADA standard sidewalks and ramps. From a utility standpoint, we're replacing all the storm sewer and actually expanding it on Maple and 6th Street. So we're actually removing about 1,500 feet of storm sewer for replacement, but we're installing 3,000 feet. A lot of that is on 6th Street where we're extending the storm sewer further north to add additional catch basin locations. From a sanitary sewer standpoint, we've got one segment from along 6th from Maple to Locust that we're replacing based on sewer televising records and recent televising we've done. From a water main perspective, we're replacing a 6-inch with an 8-inch on Walnut from 4th to 5th. There was no existing water main from 5th to 6th on Walnut, so we are installing an 8-inch main there. And the existing 6-inch main is remaining on 6th Street, but we are replacing all hydrants and gate valves. From a turf and tree standpoint, 59 trees, including 22 ash, are expected to be removed. Tree pruning will also be completed. So this is based on preliminary design, and the city forester actually going out and identifying those trees for removal. If there is any room for leaving a tree, if it was able to thrive after construction, we would leave it. We'll go to the additional step after our engineering technician marks all the trees. Given that we've narrowed the roadway, we're gonna have the forester go out again and take a look at them to see if there are any that we can leave in place. Any non-ash trees, to clarify. We'll do all the clearing grubbing as part of this contract, but our tree planting will be part of a future city planting contract. And all disturbed areas, yard areas will be restored with topsoil and sod. No seeding on this project. The project cost identified in the CIP was $3 million with the funding sources identified, general obligation bonds for about half of it, and then sewer, stormwater, and water utility funds covering the balance. Based on the final bid documents, our estimated project cost is just over $3 million, with roadway accounting for the vast majority of that. As I said, we're adding a lot of storm sewer, so stormwater costs are up. Sanitary and water is close to expectations. Sanitary is actually a little less than we would expect to spend on a typical project. In addition to the construction costs, we have indirect costs for geotechnical borings, surveying, engineering, and then once we get into construction, we'll have materials testing, construction surveying, and that's estimated to be just over $3 million total. So our schedule moving forward, assuming the city council approves the plans and specifications this evening, bid opening later in the month, and the first meeting in May, we'd bring the contract for award. Pre-construction meeting in May. We have the pre-construction meeting before the neighborhood meeting so that the contractor can present their schedule. And we expect that contractor to be at the neighborhood meeting also and make that connection with the property owners and explain how they'll continue trash service, how they'll get their mail, and things like that. We've looked at the school district calendar. We'll be beginning construction after school is out, and substantial completion is before it starts again in the fall. As I've indicated to the school district, there may be things before school's out that could be completed, but we'll talk to the school about that and make sure it doesn't interfere with any of their activities if the contractor wants to get started early in some portion of the work. Final completion end of September, and August 2026 would be a 2-year warranty inspection. So the requested action is to approve the plans and specifications and authorize the advertisement for bids for the 2024 street improvement project. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir.
Katie?
No, I don't have any specific questions. I, as always, appreciate your thoroughness and detailed and just cover all your bases. So thank you, John.
Steve?
Yeah, John, I wanted to, acknowledge a couple things both for you and for the public as well. There was so much collaboration, not only with this project, but with kind of the bigger picture of the city of Farmington, looking out 10 years. What do we think we want to do for the, 2024, 25? So for any residents that are watching there thinking, well, how do we pick out this street? It was really based on an entire city road analysis of where's our streets at? What's the condition of our roads? What makes the most sense both financially now and long term? And there was so much really good collaboration, John, that I'm just very appreciative, very confident in what you're doing with this recommendation. And, there's some of the small stuff too that, that we don't have to ask about. The collaboration with the school district, the collaboration with the residents, kind of thinking through all those details. So really, really nice job, and just really appreciate all the work that you and your team put into this.
Nick?
I hope I'm not confusing projects too much, but at one time I think you had talked about stormwater runoff or temporary holding because of the sewer work. Is that this project?
I'm sorry, Mayor and council members, that's this project, but we looked at options for actually storing some water in pipes to try and slow the runoff from the site, but we could not come up with a design that would be self-cleaning, not maintenance intensive, where we could empty the pipe between storms so it'd still be effective. We were doing that to meet our citywide MS4 permit requirement. By narrowing the roadways, we've done all practical measures, what's feasible to meet those standards. So we've adhered to the permit requirements, but we haven't installed that temporary water storage.
Very good, thank you.
Good question. No, I think just to kind of echo what my peers have said is the way that our road reconstruction and our maintenance and analysis is being approached is very intentional. It's using data. It's making for well-informed decisions and ultimately the best use of dollars towards the project. I especially appreciate the communication schedule. I mean, we knew that 24 was going to be busier with road projects, so we got out in front of it earlier. I should say, you and your team got out in front of it earlier. And I don't think that can be understated. It will make for a more transparent process. People will understand what's happening, when it's happening. Hopefully we'll get out in front of as many of the, I don't understand why the road got smaller conversations, or narrower. But we'll continue to just, push through all methods and hit all the homeowners as much as we can to deliver that message. So I appreciate the amount of thought that's gone into this.
Thank you, Mayor, and I would note that 38 feet wide is not a narrow roadway by any means. That's our commercial roadway width. So, and this is a residential area with a school on one side. So we reducing the road width by 6 feet, 3 on each side, and it was brought in from both sides. We were very comfortable with that approach.
I appreciate it. Thank you. With that, we look for motion to approve the plans and specifications and authorize the advertisements for bids for the 2024 street improvement project.
Motion.
Motion by Katie,
Second.
second by Nick. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Lean,
Yes.
Councilmember Porter,
Yes.
Councilmember Wilson,
Yes.
Mayor Hoyt.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you again, sir. All right. Roundtable. Leah, you get to start.
Excellent. Thank you, Mayor. Another judicial announcement from me. Judge Sean Moynihan is retiring. He is chambered in Hastings. Maybe some of you recognize the name, but he's retiring, which is too bad, but a vacancy will be open, and the governor's office is accepting applications until April 17th. So if you know anyone who's an attorney who you think would be a good judge in Dakota County, let them know. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Nick?
I have nothing tonight.
All right. Katie?
I don't have a whole lot other than the forecast looks great. So we're all getting out there and we're going to start watching for kiddos crossing streets, and everybody just watch for all the extra traffic because there will be foot traffic, there will be pedestrians, bikes, all of it. So sports are underway. Looking forward to spring and summer. So
Thank
that's all I
you.
got.
Steve?
All right, I'm not going to be a meteorologist, but I do think we'll have another snowstorm, and I do think we still have winter parking restrictions in effect until, what, April 15th, maybe?
15th.
15th, yeah.
2 weeks.
Just my thought. So one thing that residents wouldn't necessarily be aware of, and I just want to give a huge kudos, because he does this every month. Josh Solinger, who runs our liquor operations, is one of the more enthusiastic individuals I know. But just as a reminder, when you shop at one of our 2 liquor stores, there's always a benefit that is going back to the community. And there's always a Roundup campaign. And so this month, and this is actually really timely, so for the month of April, the Roundup campaign is going to be going to our K-9 unit, which is obviously going to benefit our police K-9 unit, and also to the Rambling River Center, I believe, as well, or Rambling River Park, excuse me, enhancements. So when you shop local, of course, you have a lot of options out there. I would say just shop local. We've got great customer service, great teams, and of course, you're supporting our community by doing so. So that's what I have.
Thank you. Lynn?
Nothing tonight.
Shirley?
She stole mine. Nothing tonight.
Julie, are we going to start a trend here?
No, I will say something. So the city has been working for months on, and I know everybody wants to watch the game, but the city's been working for months on our new website. So we intend that all goes well, cross our fingers, it goes live a week from Thursday.
Thank you. When you said the game, are you referring to Iowa and who they play?
LSU.
LSU.
Right now.
Right now? Okay. Deanna, what you got?
I don't have anything tonight.
John?
Thank you.
I want to thank you, Mayor, for approving our hiring of our second approved additional staff maintenance worker in Public Works. Joe Pluta, he's got great experience. He's going to be a fine addition to our team, and I look forward to introducing him more fully to you in a future meeting.
Thank you. Kelly?
If you haven't been by Rambling River Park since last Friday, the tennis court fence started coming down Friday afternoon. Today they started taking up the asphalt for the tennis court in preparation for the new inclusive playground equipment. We're still on track, hopefully in by July 1st. I think the equipment will actually be delivered on site here in the next couple weeks. So very excited for the new playground at Rambling River Park.
Thank you. Chief?
Our tender's in its final build, so the truck committee and myself will be heading down to Florida April 20th to sign for it, to be shipped to McQueen, to get the remainder of the equipment and stuff mounted onto it, and hopefully in May we'll start training, and then we'll have our truck in service ceremony.
No surprises with the build?
As of right now, nothing. Okay. Everything's been going. Again, time, it's hard to get stuff to build it, but they're on their final. They've assured us we already have plane tickets to go down. And so we'll be signing for it, and then they'll be shipping it to McQueen for final install of our equipment, and then we'll take about a week or two to train on it, and then we'll have our in-service ceremony.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Okay, I'll make mine quick for those that want to go watch the game. In the consent agenda, we approved a contract for 187 stumps to be ground. That's 187 stumps that are from boulevard trees predominantly. John, correct me if that included any parks, but just boulevard. So I know questions come up a lot about, okay, the trees are coming down, when are the stumps coming out? We pulled, 700 and some trees last year. There's 187 stumps coming out with this approval. We're working on the reforestation plan and kind of the strategy behind doing that effectively and most beneficial for the community. The other thing I wanted to add that Steve had mentioned was with our liquor stores. One of the things I think that gets spurned around quite a bit is a falsehood, and that's that somehow by the city being in the liquor operations business, that it's preventing people from coming here to transact. And the reality is, we don't have businesses telling us that we would be there if all you do is get out of the liquor operations. So it's not a reality. It's something that we tell ourselves that makes us feel comfortable with why things do or do not happen in the community. But on the other side of that, even if that was a scenario where there was this big monster company that wanted to come in and the conversation revolved around liquor, liquor operations help offset a significant portion of our tax levy every year to the tune of a few $100,000 annually. So if and when a conversation ever were to be had, there are other consequences than just shut the doors and go away. So again, anytime that you see a lot of that stuff being thrown out there, it's good to put facts behind it rather than emotions and falsehoods. But it's not a thing. It hasn't been a thing, at least in the last 6 years that I'm aware of or our team is aware of. So yeah, it's a great added benefit to the community. It helps offset our levy. It puts dollars into funds that otherwise would come out of property taxes. So there's different ways to diversify our base, and that's one of them that we're using right now. So I don't have anything else to add. With that, we look for motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion by Katie, second by Steve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned at 7:37.